Okay, so am I live or am I not live? This is the real question. Sorry guys, I'm figuring out how to stream a bit differently than I usually do. Let's see if it worked. Okay, Python simplified. Okay. Ah, here I am. It works. Holy smokes, you guys. So sorry about all the mess ups from earlier. I'll tell you the entire story shortly. But yeah, it's very hard trying to set up a YouTube stream in advance, kind of scheduling it for the next day, and then trying to connect the YouTube key of the stream into my OBS Studio software. A big nightmare. So I hope you guys are here. I just need to pull out YouTube Studio for that. Hold on. This is gonna be fun, okay? Obviously. This is one of those streams that I thought I'm like particularly organized at doing them, but this is not the case. Once you actually implement it, it becomes harder, so sorry. And of course, I'm gonna say hi to everyone shortly. Let me just pull out your chat. Let me pull it out of here. If I remember how to do it. Pop out chat. Okay, I got you guys. There you go. Wonderful. Okay. There you go. And again, I'm sorry if you guys were waiting on the other link. I had to remove it and start all over again. So hi everyone. Hi from Vancouver. Yeah. Wonderful. Okay. It's happening. It is happening. And hopefully you guys can hear it without any interruptions. I'm gonna switch my headphones for a second. Okay, I'm just gonna go under the table because I don't think I can hear anything coming out from the computer. Let's give it a shot now. Okay, let's see. Okay, wrong ear. No, this is not a premiere. This is a live stream. I know, I'm sorry, Mr. Scholar. You are bored because this is the initial setup of everything. And yeah, and I need to delete a bunch of stuff. It was such a nightmare setting up this stream, you guys. I'm gonna tell you shortly. In the meanwhile, I'm gonna try to arrange everything for running our nice little program, the program we'll be talking about today. And for this, I need to delete it first. Okay, this is Git, this is Anaconda, and I'm gonna delete it right away. If I remember where I saved it. Documents, Python simplified, and there you go, voice chat. Perfect. Okay, we're almost there. I just need to pull out this GitHub repository. I'm gonna pull it here. Here. Okay, and I think we are almost good to go. Just need to move you to a proper place. Okay. No, slightly smaller. Ha! Finally, awesome. Thank you so much for joining me on this beautiful morning, and sorry for all the technical, weird technical setup. This is the first time I'm streaming directly from OBS Studio, which means that we will finally have desktop audio in this stream. So let me know if you can hear it properly, if you can see it properly, if you don't have any issues with latency and annoying stuff. Grok 3, yes, I did try it. Okay, we're going to talk about Grok 3. Actually, part of the code we will see today was generated by Grok 3. And let me just quickly close the door to the office. Just a sec, I'll be here. It's like, hold on. Honey, are you here? Can you make me some tea? I didn't have time. Thank you. Sorry, guys. What a rush. Okay. So I basically, actually, Grok 3 is the reason why I was able to set up this setup the way that I was able to set it up. And as you can see, it lacks, you know, it's not aware of everything. It could have been better. I could have been more prepared. But this time I woke up like much earlier. I set it up in advance. It's just that the instructions in reality, they don't always match. But okay, you know, you learned something. I learned something. Okay, great. Thank you so much. Welcome to another beautiful live stream from beautiful British Columbia, Canada. It is myself, Maria, and today we'll look at tiny AI. We would look at a bunch of language models that are so small that they can actually run on your CPU. So all you need is an average computer with about 8 gigabytes of RAM, and that's it. All you need is a functional CPU and they can run on your computer. Now, there's a reason why we don't use them very often in professional applications, and you will see why. We will ask them a few questions, we will communicate with them via voice. That's why I have my microphone on, my headphone on, and it's gonna be really cool. So basically what I've done is I took some code that we've used in previous tutorials, which is just basically how you would load a large language model from transformers, Hugging Face transformers. And then I've added a voice component into it. So now we have our very own voice assistant, and I will show you how to customize it. I'll show you how to change the voice, I'll show you how to change the accent, and it will base it off some very simple code on a Windows system, believe it or not. Okay, no WSL today. So this is not fun, because I got used to working with WSL too, but I'm sure that many of you guys, especially the beginners, you're still using Windows. And yeah, that's exactly what we'll do today. Now, I'm waiting for some tea from Mario. I didn't have enough time. And in the meanwhile, I'm just going to sip on this little coffee here. What a morning. Oh my God. So 10 minutes before the stream started, I actually realized I have to start it all over again if I want to stream it from OBS Studio and not from YouTube Studio. So yeah, my apologies if you were waiting on the other one and I deleted it and then you kind of, what's going on? Where am I? Yes, I apologize. The first time I'm doing it, so the first time there's always going to be some issues, sadly. Okay, great. So I have your comments over here. Good morning to all the lovely people that I can see here. Yeah, I only tried Grok in its original mode. Okay, I'm not trying the fancy modes. And I don't know if I have this mode. I think you need to have iPhone to be able to play with the modes. And no, I'm not going to Twitch. No, I'm staying here. I think I have one follower on Twitch and he's a bot. So there's nothing for me to do there. Okay, great. So I'm going to share with you this lovely repository of mine. This is the GitHub code that we will be using in this video. It's really simple application, and again, everybody can do it. Now, the first thing you'll need is Git. Okay, now if you're a complete beginner, just type Git, not GitHub, but Git Bash. Follow the first link you see, okay, and then you download this lovely program to your computer. Okay, why? Because we will be downloading this repository directly from GitHub. We'll be cloning it. That's why we'll need Git on our system. If you have WSL, you just install it inside your terminal. But if you don't have WSL, which is what we'll do in this video, we'll just install Git Bash. Okay, so once you install it, you can type Git Bash inside your start menu. And there you go, you have it right over here. Now, you will need to navigate to a nice directory to which you would like to download my script. In my case, I'm not going to navigate anywhere, okay? But on your end, please do. Or actually, you know what? I might as well. Let's see where we are. LS. We will list. Hold on. Let me put it down. Let me make this text a little bit larger. Can I do it like that? Yeah, I can. Perfect. Okay. Where am I? Where am I? Okay. Let's go to Documents. CD Documents. Thank you so much, hon. Oh, thank you so much. This is awesome. Awesome, thank you. Yay, I got some tea. Amazing. Perfect, thanks. CD Documents, and then inside Documents, what do I have here? Python simplified, makes sense. Okay, copy. CD Python simplified, change directory. That will be on my computer, not on yours. Oops. CD quotes, change directory, Python simplified, and beautiful. Into this directory, I will download my repository. I will clone it. So what we do is we type git clone, okay, and then we will copy the link from GitHub. We'll go to this code button. Oh, you can't see it. Hold on. Okay, look at that. I'm gonna press here, and I'm small. There you go. Beautiful. Okay, finally set up my OBS so it works nicely. Oh, and actually, I got a bunch of other cool stuff. I forgot to do it. Holy smokes. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? So, welcome to this lovely stream of mine. It's a bit of a delay. Thank you so much for being here. I will see you right after the intro. I can do some intros. This is amazing. Okay, so I set it up in OBS. Yay! You don't really need a software like StreamYard. That's it. The days of StreamYard are over. Everything is done in OBS. And I'm glad I took the time to figure it out. I finally have some time to do it. But yeah, this is really cool. So let me know if you heard the sound and it was nice, so I can see that it was cool. But I hope that what was cool is the intro and not something else I've done earlier, because there's a bit of a delay between when reality happens and when you see it on your end. But yeah, this is awesome. And now I have another thing, okay, which I always forget to say, but I have this beauty. Okay, like and subscribe. I'm so excited. This is amazing. Okay, you can tell that this was worth the technical mess ups at the beginning. Okay, I hope so. For me, it was. Cool. So we are back inside Git. I just need to remember to do all those intros. So where did I put Git? Okay, it is here. Okay, come here, Git. So we do git clone followed by the HTTPS address that you will copy from here. You just click on this code, little button, and then you go to HTTPS and you copy the address. Then you paste it right after git clone. Okay, you do it with a... that's an ugly paste, okay? Okay, there you go, much better. You can tell that I'm not using Windows regularly. Okay, I forgot how complex it is just to run the commands I'm used to in a Windows system. They have a completely different way of doing it, and I don't like it. I prefer the Linux way. Okay, so we cloned our files. I wonder if we can navigate to this folder through here directly. Let's see. Options, probably not. Okay, no problem. I'll navigate there on my own. I don't need your help, okay? We'll do it. Okay, let's see. Just pulling out this folder on my system where this is saved. So now I have a new... Why are you so small, Windows? Hey, you're tiny. You're tiny. I'm gonna make you extra large. Can you even read what's written there? I don't think so. Okay, I'll figure out for the next time. Okay, so voice chat, this is where we downloaded our model, and all you can find here is one voicechat.py file, that's the Python file, and a requirements file, and that's all you need. Okay, now another thing, there's some issues. Somebody has issues with installing Git. So all you need, you got to go to Git, and you got to download it from here. Okay, just click on download and then set it up on your system. I don't think you need to restart your computer for that. Hopefully not. But the next thing we'll be using, which is called Anaconda, you will need to install, you will need to restart your computer for that. So just type Anaconda. Okay, click it, go to products, distribution. Okay, this is a brand new interface, okay? Brand new interface, okay, let's see. I guess you need to provide them your email address now to download it. You didn't need to do it before, but go ahead, provide your address, install it on your system, follow the installation, and then you will have this lovely package manager, environment manager on your system, and that's the one we will use right now. Okay, so I already have it installed. I just need to type Anaconda, and it pops. Beautiful. Now I'm going to, of course, enlarge the text, otherwise nobody's going to see anything. Okay, and the first thing we'll do here is we will create a working environment. Okay, we will do it with conda create-n, and we will choose a name for this environment. In my case, I will call it, I'll call it voice LLM. Right? It doesn't really matter. Voice LLM with no typos. And then we'll install Python 3.11 init. Okay, yes, we will do it. Did I mention that we'll be talking to this AI? You guys, I got so confused when I started this stream. I don't know if I told you. I think I did. I hope so. Conda activate voice LLM, and then we're not going to install each and every package on its own. We'll just install it from the requirements file that you also cloned from Git. Why? Because if you type ls, you can type ls in a Windows terminal, okay? It's not going to list all the files. Ugh, I miss WSL, I really do. And I'll tell you why we couldn't use it in this specific case. And also Docker. I didn't see her working within Docker. I have so many tutorials about Docker, you guys. I worked with it like many, many times, especially with large language models. That would be my first choice. But it's a bit of a pain to make your microphone and speakers accessible through Docker and through Linux. So that's why we are doing it via Windows. And it's not like I didn't try. It is truly painful, trust me. Okay, so, okay, we are inside the environment. We need to install all the requirements. To do so, we will type pip install -r requirements.txt. Okay, and already included all the, could not open requirements file, no such directory. Because I'm not in the right folder. Okay, so I'm going to need to copy this address. I'm going to type cd, okay, and then this address. And now I'm in the correct environment, okay? Because usually what we do is we use WSL and we clone directly into the terminal from Git, and from the same folder, we actually continue with our software. Here we use two different terminals. We have the Git terminal from where I already navigated to the correct directory, but we also have this Anaconda terminal in addition, and I didn't navigate there. Now I did. I didn't navigate there before. Okay, so we are in the correct directory. Let's just pull out our recent command of pip install -r requirements.txt. And now it should run and install all the dependencies all at once, and I already took care of that for you. I even installed some dependencies that you will need to customize your app, like this Pi TTSX3. That's one of them. Okay. Ooh. It installs. It installs. Now, another thing you will need some kind of a microphone connected to your system. In my case, I'm using this guy, but you'll definitely need your own kind of microphone. If you don't have it, I think the app might break on you, okay? Because this is such a simple app. This is the basic implementation of communicating with a neural network over language model. Sorry, it is a neural network too, but communicating with a language model over voice. And it, of course, can be improved. I encourage you to improve it, and I will show you how. Okay, we installed all the requirements. Now we need to run the app. Okay, so how do we do it? We type Python voice_chat.py. Let's see how it works. Let's give it a shot. And this one runs on CPU, as I mentioned earlier. It doesn't need a fancy GPU to run. All you need is 8 GB of RAM, and you're good to go. And I think all of us have. Okay, listening. So how many stars are there in the universe? So how many stars are there in the, it didn't hear my entire output. Okay, never mind. We'll see what it answers. Let's see.
Night sky? I know it's 68 million. I'm trying to understand how many stars are in the night sky.
Yeah. Do you hear? Do you hear her talk? Let me know in the comments if you heard it. I want to see if the volume is kind of balanced. And that would be a good indication, so let me know. You can actually stop it from talking by pressing exit. And we will go over it. We will look at the code shortly. I just wanted to see that the volume is fine with you guys. Let me know in a comment who's here. Let's see. Volume is low on AI. Okay, well, I can make it louder. No problem. Okay. Well, how about this? -20. Let's try with -20. Let's give it another shot, okay? Okay, let's try it again. A different question. Different question now. And if you... Okay. Who is the son of King David from the Bible? Okay, this one, she got the whole thing. Okay, good. Good. Okay. I don't think it will know anything about
Who was also the founder of the House of David? The son of King David from the Bible who was also the founder of the House of David is Solomon. Can you tell me more about Solomon's reign and his...
Okay, how about that? Did you hear it? How about that? Was it fine? Like, is the volume satisfactory? Let me know in the comments. And thanks for helping me setting this thing up. It's tough when you're doing this on your own, because I do hear some of the output here in the volume a bit high on that. Split the difference. Okay, let's do it at 30. Okay, 30 should be fine. Okay, final test. Some people are saying it's good. Oh my God. Oh my God. Too loud. Okay. Last time, okay? The volume is now on -30. Final test. Okay, who was I looking at? I was supposed to look at that. Yeah, let's give it a go. How many days are there in a year? It's just, I think my accent prevents it from understanding the last few words. Oh, she sends me an SQL
month with
table.
28 days. Create table _2,500,000.
Okay, so besides the terrible misinformation, do you guys hear the volume nicely? Yeah, I'm not using Llama, Fonzie. I'm using 3 very, very small and tiny language models. One of them is Llama, but it's TinyLlama. Okay, we will look at the code shortly. And the reason why I'm showing it to you is mostly to showcase the limitations that these models have. And it will probably tell you, basically anyone from any kind of device can design this type of application. This is not complex, but is it really usable? Are those AIs smart enough to actually have conversations with us? You guys will tell, and we will do a nice poll at the very end of this stream, and we'll ask you which of these is, I guess, the dumbest or the smartest. It depends on you. Okay, so great. Now let me catch up with the comments. Let's see what you guys are saying. This is not running on GPU. I'm just picking at the comments, and I'm kind of hiding them with myself. I'm going to move it here. Yeah, it's probably better here. Okay. And this is where we will communicate with our AI model. Okay, if you're trying to follow along, all the instructions are at the beginning of this video, or you can find them on GitHub. Where was it? Yeah, that was my GitHub. You can find it right over here in Maria Shah/voice chat. Okay, all the instructions are here, including on how to customize it, which we will do shortly. But this is the type of exercise we will do. And this model is based on our previous tutorial, actually a short, of the Qwen Where is it? I'm going to find it here. The chatbot Qwen. Okay, so this repository is the basis of this repository, but this repository allows you to use voice commands to talk with AI, and then the AI will reply to you as well. The other one is not, okay? And another difference is that this repository is running on a Windows machine, specifically Windows machine. Don't even try running it on Linux, and not inside a Docker container, okay? Good, good. Let's see the comments. Qwen is the DeepSeek one, right? So no, actually they're separated. I don't think that DeepSeek is by Alibaba, but Qwen is a model of Alibaba. It is a Chinese model, and it is fully open source. It doesn't ask you for authentication. It used to be the only model that was like that, but now DeepSeek kind of joined the party. And there are some versions of DeepSeek that are based on Qwen. But the difference between DeepSeek and Qwen, for the most part, is that DeepSeek also provides you the thinking pattern of the model, while Qwen only provides you the response. Okay, so Qwen is not going to tell you how it came to the conclusion it came, while DeepSeek will. How many CPU plus RAM it uses. So I don't know, I don't think it matters how many cores you have on your CPU. As long as you have a functioning CPU and 8 gigabytes of RAM, you can run this code. And no, this is not a virtual machine. This is Windows, native Windows A tag. If you can run it on something else, that would be a miracle. And I'm sure you can do it. It's just going to take a lot of troubleshooting, and it will take a lot of installation steps, because it is not easy to fetch your microphone and camera and all this output. It is not easy to fetch it into your container or into your WSL environment. Okay, cool. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining us. What is the knowledge base range? Not sure. I can tell you how many parameters each model has. We will load 3 different models. We will compare between them, and we'll try to have a nice conversation with them as much as possible, because they're really, really dumb, okay? And it will show you why people generally use GPUs for communicating with large language models. It's just very, very challenging to get a proper answer from a model when it is very, very small, okay? Cool, let's see at the bottom of the comments if I missed something. My Windows machine is 15 years old. Okay, well, I don't know if 15 years ago 8 gigabytes of RAM was too much. I think it was pretty standard, no? Will it hallucinate? Oh yeah, it's gonna hallucinate like crazy, you guys. Oh my God. First of all, it told us that there's like 28 days. But it didn't get the year. Okay, never mind. We'll test it again. Cool. Thank you, Fonzie, for reminding me to drink. Oh, this is good. Good job, Mario. Wow. Okie dokie. Yeah, so let's take a look at the code. I was planning on such an organized stream, and I was very, very close to it. Actually, I was very close to achieving it. It's just that last moment, YouTube is kind of, well, you can't edit it. You need to create a new stream if you want a stream key. And I was like, what do I do? And it kind of messed up my entire plan. But that's okay. That's okay. You guys are here. We're chatting. I wanted to trim some important moments from this stream and kind of create a video out of it, but I guess it's not going to happen. Okay, but let's go over the code. Let's see. Oh, what did I do? What did I do? voicechat.py, and we will open it with Sublime Text. Let's do it. Oh, okay. You can tell that I just installed this Sublime Text on my system. And it is not in the colors that I like, but it's okay. We will live with it, right? It's okay when it's gray. Let's make it extra large. And let's make sure your comments are visible. And you... bye-bye. Haha. Okay, good. Is that big enough? You like the font? You like the... can you show the processor use when running? I don't know. I don't know if it's going to show you much, but I can try that. Yeah. tutorial on making an advanced AI app using Python or Llama library. We can do it, sure. Like I've seen a whole bunch of tutorials like that though. I think everybody's doing that in a way. Cool. So let's see how our voice assistant works. Okay. So we start with all the imports, and the reason why we have this logging message is because transformers, they really like letting you know about every little detail that they do, and it makes your console really cluggy since our app is being run from the console, from this beautiful thing. I disabled these warnings. You don't have to do it on your end, of course. And we will try it on 3 different models. Okay, that's how I should have started the video, okay? Today, we will test 3 different models, and we will see which of them is smarter, which of them is dumber, which of them is tolerable, okay? And the first model, we already tested it a few times, and that would be Qwen 2 with 1.5 billion parameters, okay? And we're talking about models that are relatively in a size of 5 gigabytes, something along these lines, nothing too big. We will also look at Microsoft Pi 2, and we'll also look at TinyLlama, which is not by Meta, but it is based on Meta's Llama, and it only has 1.1 billion parameters, okay? All these models are open source. They don't ask you for authentication. They don't ask you who you are, where you live, what's your phone number. They don't ask you for payment, and all these files are public, 100% public. Feel free to use it. Now, in previous tutorials, we've been loading Qwen into a Docker container due to some safety concerns. I actually done a little bit of research, and when it comes to Qwen with 1.5 billion parameters, the only thing that you download to your system is what is public on Hugging Face. You're not getting any files from any different source. You're only getting it from Hugging Face. While if you're trying to use the 7 billion parameter model and anything upwards, you're also downloading some files from Alibaba. Now, these files are also public. It is an open source model, but I'm not a cybersecurity expert. I don't know how much I trust Alibaba, you know. My parents are using it. They're, you know, ordering some stuff from there. But, you know, if I had a bit more background with cybersecurity and I could actually assess the risk of those files, I would probably tell you more, but I don't know enough. So as long as it's 1.5 billion parameters, all you'll download is straight from Hugging Face, okay? That's why we're using it on a Windows machine without a Docker container, like I would usually do it. Cool, okay, let's move on with the code. How they matter. Which parameters were we talking about? The billion, okay, billion per. So basically it tells you the scale of the model. So when I'm saying this and this billion of parameters, it tells you, it basically tells you the magnitude of the model, okay? So the more parameters it has, the more data it trained on, and the more logical pathways this model has, right? So if you look at a regular human brain, and you compare it to a bird's brain, okay? So now we're dealing with models that have a bird's brain. While if we're looking at the more billion parameters model, they would have like a full-grown human kind of brain. That's the equivalent for humans. And generally speaking, the more parameters the model has, the more processes in parallel it needs to perform. And the bigger the matrix that you will need to multiply within the model. So as long as you're dealing with small number of billions of parameters, the size of the model will be smaller. It will be easier to manipulate it and use it and get a response from it, and you'll be able to load it into memory, into RAM memory. You will not need to load it into VRAM memory, which is usually a little bit, it gives you a bit more grace. So basically, what I'm trying to say is the less billions parameters it has, the dumber it is, okay? That's how it works. Yeah, normal chat is getting terrible. Yeah, I'll look at the comments shortly. Actually, it distracts me, so I'm gonna hide them. Yeah, you can tell. You can tell when I'm distracted. Let's quickly go over the code, just so we kind of have an idea what's going on here, and I think it will answer a lot of your questions if I do so. So first, we're using a library named STI. So if you looked at my functions tutorial, we used it to create a tiny project. And basically what this library does, it gives colors to our print statement in the console. So every time you see FG blue, FGRS, that's where we're using this STI. Okay, next we are initializing a mixer object, which is basically how, and this mixer object will help us render the audio. It will help us play the audio we are generating. We have an SR recognizer, okay, which is basically the speech recognition component of our software. We also have a pipeline that includes our model, and we will change this name to a different one. Let's do it from now. Let's go for Pi2. Actually, we didn't properly test Qwen yet. Okay, so let's leave it at Qwen. I didn't have a loop of questions yet, so we will do it shortly. And the pipeline is in terms of text generation. You can of course turn it into other stuff. You can turn it into text translation, into classification, anything else you'd like. But in our case, we are chatting with a robot, and that's why it's text generation for us. And these are parameters for the app itself. And I will get to this parameter shortly. I'll explain it as we go. Now, the first function we have is play speech. So basically what this function does is it collects our, the text. It collects the text that our model generated. It collects the response, and it sends it into something called Google Text-to-Speech. Okay, so to run this app on your computer, you will need access to the internet, and particularly you will need it for this line of code that basically communicates with Google servers, and Google servers are the ones that do the conversion between text and audio. Okay, and this is, generally speaking, this is the easiest way of handling it if you do have an internet connection. And I actually like the voice that it generates. It's the most human voice I've heard so far, you know, out of the simple methods. And what this line of code does is basically it creates a stream, which is almost like a file, but this file doesn't really live on our file system. This file lives in memory. So basically, it lives in our RAM, in our random access memory, and it's not in a physical location on our computer. And then we are streaming this file into Pygame, and then we play it. But it is not saved on our system. And what this last line of code does, it reverts the file, it rewinds it to the very, very first bit. Okay? If you have any questions about these lines of code, I'm gonna tackle them shortly. Leave me 3 stars ahead of your question if it's about these 4 lines of code. Okay? Then, once we are rewinding the sound to its original spot, we have a sound file ready to play, sound file, okay, in memory ready to play. We then go ahead and load it into Pygame. And if during the playing of the model sound, the user presses on the exit button, then the app will stop and our app will break. Why? Because when the model starts hallucinating, sometimes it hallucinates really in a really annoying way, okay? And you wanna be able to stop it. We use the exit escape button, and we're good to go. Okay, that solves it. Then we have listen and respond, which is the component that collects our sound sample and translates it into text. Okay, so we are using our microphone, and for this, we need Windows. Okay, unfortunately. I wish we didn't have to. Actually, we don't have to, but it's a lot of pain, and it's not going to be a simplified video. It's going to be complex, so I'm just keeping it Windows-based. Okay, now, once we are collecting some input from the user, we are then converting it into text. So for this, we will need a recognizer object, and then we convert it into text right over here. And we do this with Google, of course. Once again, we will need an internet connection. There's another method that doesn't require internet connection. We will check it shortly, but I don't think you're gonna like the output. It's snappy, okay? Then if the answer of the user, if the prompt of the user is actually exit, we're saying vocally exit, then the app will also terminate, okay? We wanna be able to exit at certain points. That's just another one of them. Okay, and this part, you already know it. If you watched my large language models tutorials, we use it all the time. And this is how we generate a response from the model. And here I had the preset of please tell me, plus whatever it is I'm asking the model to do. So if I'm saying how many stars are there in the universe, the model receives please tell me how many stars are there in the universe. That's that. And you can play with these parameters, of course. You can change them. You can create more tokens than 50. You can change it to like 200, whatever it is that your heart desires. I'm going to keep it at 50. And yeah, let me know if you'd like to hear about these parameters. If you want to learn more about them, add 3 aliens in front of your comment. And I'm going to check them out right now. And that's almost the end of the app. Like this is a 100 lines of code kind of app. Well, sorry, 116 lines of code kind of app. What else do we have here? Yeah, we also print the response. We handle exceptions, like very, very, very basically, nothing special. And we have our main app loop, which we will experience shortly. Cool. That's it. If you have any questions about the rest of the app and not about the other lines of code, what do we have? We had stars, we had aliens, and okay, beer. Let's do beer. Okay, 3 beer emojis if you have questions about other parts of the app. Let me pull out your comments now so I'm not distracted. Let's have a look. Okay, aliens, stars, nothing. Okay, nobody has questions. Good. Awesome, let's give it a run. Let's give it a run. If you need a code link, hold on. I'll send it again. We'll send it again. There you go. Okay, let's give it another run, and this time we will test it. Now, what I need from you is a bunch of questions. Sorry. I need a bunch of questions from you. Can make myself larger now. Okay, because it's not really important. I'm gonna move myself here, and beautiful. Okay. Send me some questions. What would you like me to ask Qwen? And then we will ask the rest of the models the same questions just so we can keep it consistent and we can tell for sure which one of them is smart. Let's see. Please explain temperature, top K, etc. Where are the 3 alien emojis? So top K, basically, what is this? Okay, you also distract me. Bye. No, bye. Okay, good. The perfect coffee. It's like the perfect coffee requires an espresso machine. Like this was pretty perfect before I started drinking it. Yeah. Okay. Streaming. Okay. Disconnected. Did the stream get stuck? No. Did the stream get stuck? No. Working again. Okay. You guys. What? Maybe I should disconnect from the Wi-Fi, but it doesn't matter. I have Ethernet. Typical OBS. Let's see. Disconnected from Wi-Fi altogether. Okay, reconnected successfully. Yeah, why not? Sublime is amazing. I love Sublime. It's one of my favorites. I think now it's going to be better because I disconnected from Wi-Fi. So the original plan was streaming everything from my laptop. I actually have my laptop here too today. I brought it here. The original plan was streaming this app from my laptop. But then again, there's like some issues with connection. If you do it via Wi-Fi, it's so bad. Again, this is an experiment stream. Because my thought was, okay, what if I need to do some of the heavy duty stuff, right? Like we had our DeepSeek stream before, where I was loading the 8 billion parameter model and then everything got stuck. So I was like, okay, what if only, you know, the desktop capture gets stuck, but then my camera is not stuck because I'm transmitting it from a different computer. So I was trying to solve that. And also, if I want to do some gaming, I will also need, you know, a separate machine to do it. But Wi-Fi is not a good way for two computers to communicate to one another. So I'm going to have to solve it with a router in between or something along these lines. Okay. Shakti wants to get me in trouble with YouTube. Okay, let's ask, how many coding languages are there? Okay. No, I don't use ChatGPT. Let's do Python voicechat.py and let's ask it some of the questions that you guys have here. How many coding languages are there?
They're in the world. There are over 200 coding languages in the world.
Okay, you're pretty smart, model. Actually, I appreciate your response. Let's see what it says.
I'll go ahead and try to continue the conversation. Sure, I'm here to help. What would you like to talk about? I'm not sure if I can handle this conversation anymore. You're not actually smart. I'll stop talking to.
What? How dare you? How dare you? This is so rude. Oh my God. I'm not that smart. It's offensive.
Even going to type it all out because you're just going to be like, oh yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah.
Okay, bye. Okay, that's why we need the termination button. Okay, so, but at least it has a little bit of context, you know, at least you can have a conversation, even if it's a nasty conversation, you can still have it. It's not too bad. Okay, so what happens if instead of Qwen, we'll be dealing with Microsoft Pi 2? And I had so much hopes for this model, you guys. I heard good things about it, you know. It got viral, people were talking about it, and I was excited that it's finally, you know, an open source model that doesn't come from China. Like, it wasn't on my bingo card that, you know, all the open source models will be from China, you know, because even Mistral, that's supposed to be open source, I tried using it the other day. I don't know how it's open source, and it wants my email and phone number, and then it offers me, what kind of plan would you like to choose? Like, do you want the experimental plan that is free? Or do you want to pay us a bunch of money? So like, how are you representing the open source idea? I got so upset, so I didn't use it in this video. That's why there's no Mistral. That would have been the step up. And I just, no, I'm not giving you my phone number. What are you, nuts? Invite me to dinner first. Maybe then, we'll see. But this is crazy. Where was I? Oh, we wanted Pi 2. Okay, we wanted Pi 2, and then I scrolled down too much. Okay, so we just copy one of these names, and I made it very, very simple for you guys. You just copy and paste it. Okay, and instead of Qwen, we paste Microsoft Pi 2. Okay, let's give it another run. Let's save everything, and let's go back to our previous screen. Oh, did I block everything with my head? Sorry, guys, if I did it. No, yeah, you couldn't see anything. Yikes. Okay, so this is what I did. Okay, so this used to be Qwen, and now it is Microsoft Pi 2. Okay, good. Save it. Shrink Maria. I wanted to, but then it's so boring when I'm small, you know, I don't know. For the most part, we're just gonna see this. So I'll get to your question shortly. Okay. Let's see, Microsoft Pi 2. Okay, it needs to download it, give it some time. It's not gonna be long. How many gigabytes is it? We're talking about 5-ish. What is it? Will tell us at the end how many gigabytes are there. For now, we're about 2. Yeah, 5. It's going to be about 5. Not too much. So we can actually do the questions in the meanwhile. Hi, Maria, can you answer this offline when you have time? Can you show how we can implement this into an actual chatbot app created in HTML, JavaScript, and CSS with a Python backend? So there's not much difference. Basically, this app runs in a console, but you can implement it with Flask. You can implement it with some basic, Django, Flask, TypeI, some stuff that I already showed on the channel. So all you need is basically a GUI. You just, instead of how many stars are there in the universe? Sorry guys, it's listening. So error, no text. What are you, nuts? You didn't answer me. Why you don't answer, Pi 2? What are you nuts? You didn't answer. Transcribes everything I say. Okay, come on. This time have an answer.
Quote, print. I'm sorry you are feeling this way.
What are you printing?
Please tell me, what are you feeling?
See, okay. Very unimpressed with Pi 2. Let's try again. Let's try to make it a decent... You can't fix it. Shakti, I tried fixing it, and at first I thought, you know what? Maybe only Pi 2 is dumb. But then I loaded TinyLlama, and I don't know if it's smarter. Honestly, between the three, so far I got the only reasonable responses from Qwen, but not all the time. Like very rarely you would get it. Let's try it again. Let's try a biblical question, something that it should know. What is the name of the father of King Solomon? Let's see. A father of king. You forgot Solomon. Come on. I don't know if these LLMs are decent, but it's connected to LLMs, yeah.
Solomon? Quote, student. The father of King Solomon is not mentioned in the Bible.
It's not mentioned
Teacher,
in the Bible?
That's right.
Are you sure? Are you sure that the father of King Solomon, aka David, is not mentioned in the Bible? Wow. Okay, let's try it again. What was the question? How many programming languages are there? Okay, let's try this one. Come on. How many programming languages are there?
In the world? Quote, def count _ languages. Question. If programming languages in question. Return to, else.
Okay, you hear it? There's exit. Sorry. Okay, I messed up this one. I should have said only exit. Okay, it's gonna catch my input. Здравствуйте всем из Беларуси. Здрасте из Ванкувера. Привет. Егорич. Здрасте. Let's see what it says. We don't know if Qwen wins. You guys will decide.
And put it into the list. It's going to...
Oh. No, come on. Stream. What is wrong with you? Okay, well, maybe I cannot go past StreamYard, eh? I might have to subscribe to it again. Come on. This is pretty bad. Like, I have a really good internet connection, and this computer is connected to the Ethernet. Okay, so it's not a Wi-Fi connection, it's a physical connection, and yet Something's off. Okay, so this OBS thing, I guess it doesn't work. Streaming through OBS. Back to the planning. Back to planning. Yikes. Yeah. Okay, let's try the last model. So was there something, the programming languages didn't work, the biblical stuff didn't work, and in fact, I don't know if we can get it to give us a proper answer on anything. It's just really too stupid. I think what these models, what happens to them is they tend to train on a data set and they tend to provide answers from this data set. They don't really good with what we call generalization. Yeah, and some of the things I'm saying, for some reason, it doesn't record them. So sometimes my last word is being missed. So the one way to mitigate it, we can enlarge this value. And what it basically gives you is, so basically, let's go back to this statement. So we have 10 seconds to ask our question, to provide our prompt. But if any time within those 10 seconds, we have a second and a half of total silence, then the prompt stops. It's not going to wait the whole 10 seconds. So for example, if my answer is exit, and I don't say anything after exit, then obviously it's not going to wait 10 seconds. It will wait 1.5 seconds. So if you increase it to 2 or 3, it will catch the last word that it's being missing sometimes. Okay, so my first attempt with this application was actually Microsoft Pi, and it was very, very frustrating. So now let's try TinyLlama, which was my second attempt. Because I know that Llama is pretty good. I used it several times. So I thought, you know what? Llama will save the day. And that's what I did. That's how I changed it. Okay, let's save it. Let's give it a shot. And I was sure that it will be smart. Let's see. Okay, and it's gonna download it. It will take some time. 2.2 gigabytes. This one is really, really small. Yikes. Yikes. Okay, well, what is the question? Are you using ChatGPT for it? No. Why do you need to use ChatGPT for stuff that you can get for way cheaper or absolutely for free? How many programming languages are there? Okay, good. It got the prompt. Let's see, TinyLlama.
In the world, answer. There are over 100 programming languages currently in use, and each language has its own set of features, syntax, and libraries. Some of the most popular programming languages in the world include 1.
Who is the father of King Solomon from the Bible? That's what drives me crazy. Sometimes it just responds with nothing. Let's see what it says about that.
I've been through so much with my ex-boyfriend, and I can't believe how much I'm still struggling to move on. I've been seeing this person for over a year now, and I can't.
Thank you for sharing me details about your relationship with your ex-boyfriend. What is his name?
How long you have been together, and what was the reason behind the breakup?
I asked you. Why are you asking me? Excuse me. You're the one giving answers. AI therapy.
Me the answer, please tell me the reason so that I can take this opportunity to express my gratitude to you. I would like to express my heartfelt gratitude to you for the unending.
See, it barely understands the context of the conversation, if it understands anything at all. While if you look at the more sophisticated models, like we've been talking about Grok 3, for example, not only does it know the context of what you're asking, but also if it doesn't know, it clarifies. And when it clarifies, you get to send an additional prompt, and it comes in the context of the first prompt. Here, every prompt is on its own, and getting a proper answer that you can actually rely on is almost impossible. Like, the father of King Solomon is not mentioned in the Bible. What? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, there's a lot of stuff mentioned about them in the Bible. So this is interesting. I really want to ask you, reason being you were one of the few channels I watched that led to start my programming career. Hi, from Kenya, hi. Nice to see you. I just don't know what you want to ask. Because if you're writing a comment, write your question in the comment. Because if I'm already seeing it, I don't know if I'll see it again. Grok is a beast. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But no, these models, they're just incapable of providing you proper answers. They don't understand what you're asking of them. And they don't understand what kind of response they need to reply you with. So they need to get exposed to more and more and more and more data. And maybe then they'll be good enough. But then as much data as you show them, the more you expose them to data, the bigger they get. The more weights they have, the more patterns of thinking, the more logical pathways they have. And you end up with a giant model that is like 45 gigabytes or like 100 gigabytes. And some of them, they don't even run on consumer-based systems, right? Because even if you have like, what is it, a 4090, a 4080, you cannot run the big models on your computer. You'll need way more memory than what you have. And that's why when it comes to models like Grok 3, you need like a giant data center with like hundreds of GPUs connected together to implement it. So that's tough. Okay, so if you're into artificial intelligence, data science, anything that has to do with giant vectors and big data structures, it's very hard to get away with not having a GPU. Like, you have to have a GPU, something that is good, something that has a lot of VRAM that can process all these things to have these conversations with AI. Or you need to have like a good hosting server, Google Cloud, AWS, we've been using Vultr on this channel, like so many different things. You just need to have access to processing data that many consumers don't have. I think giant models are dead end. Yeah, I think I agree. They will hit the spot where you cannot get smarter. You basically cannot generalize further. Because what these models are, they're basically school smart. While if we want exponential growth, we need them to be street smart. And it's very hard to train school smart models on being street smart. And the way to do so is to basically show them a believable simulation, what we call reinforcement learning, and get them to gain actual life experience, not theoretical experience, but actual experience. AGI, I don't think we're near it, but I think it's possible. I do have a theory on how to achieve it, but it will take many, many years. It's not something we can do very, very fast. But from my perspective, if you make a simulation that is based on the collective history and the collective set of experiences of all humanity, not just me, because I think that in order to achieve consciousness, there are a few levels of consciousness. We have our personal consciousness, our personal awareness, and we have our collective consciousness, collective history of humanity. And if we create a simulation that is believable enough, and it basically mimics the important event in our history, the important events, the important individuals, it's like a matrix-like kind of simulation, very, very comprehensive. Maybe, just maybe, we'll be able to achieve this final stage of awareness, artificial awareness. Who knows, okay? Who knows? Maybe one day. Elon Musk said that one of the reasons we wanted to make Grok was to find what consciousness is. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. But again, Grok also has its limitations. I've been using, so I didn't tell you guys, but for the past week, I've been forcing myself to use Grok for everything. I'm running this experiment because I'm a very impatient person. I don't have the patience to explain AI, what I want to do and how to achieve things. I just want to do something quickly and leave. But if you do put some time, if you do put the effort, if you do have the patience to do it, then you realize that it's a very comprehensive tool, right? It can help you with so many different things, but there's also a lot of downsides to it. So I've been running this experiment with myself, and I've been noticing how it affects me. And wow, I need to film a blog, I think. I need to film a nice vlog after this stream. What is the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything? You want to ask it? You think it's going to be 42? We'll see if it trained on the Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Let's see. What is the ultimate question of life, the universe, and everything?
And everything.
You just repeated my last two words.
But I'm not quite sure what you meant by happily ever after.
Who said that?
Could you paraphrase that sentence? For me, I'm not quite sure what you meant by happily ever after.
Insane. Insane. Exit. I'm very disappointed. I thought that, you know what, I can do this nice application and I can share it with people who have very little hardware. You know, they don't have anything fancy and they'll be able to run it and everything is fine. But no. This is really bad. Really, really bad. So how do we customize this thing? Okay, so let's say you're tired of this voice. Actually, we can try it with accents. Let's try it with accents first. So on the repository README file, you can actually pick an accent. Do we want, okay, you let me know in the comments. So we have a Australian accent, we have a British accent, and we have an Indian accent. Okay, let me know in the comments what do you want to hear, and we'll just copy it. We'll just copy this little thing from it. You don't need the whole implementation. This is just to give you a little bit more context with the Google text-to-speech library. Australian, okay, already I see 2 comments with Australian. Let's give it a try. TLD. Okay, we will just paste it inside our code. There you go. Here it is. Here it is. Let's give it a go. And we need to paste it here. So language English. Okay, TLD, COM-AU. Okay, and actually I'm going to revert it to Qwen, because I cannot tolerate Pi and TinyLlama. Okay. I cannot. It's just very hard to communicate with something that doesn't even understand what you're saying. It ignores what you're asking it, and it's just telling you what it wants to know. And essentially, if you remember, when this channel was just a baby, we created a storyteller neural network together before I knew how to properly create these type of neural networks, but it's still an educational tutorial. And I told you, don't watch this video because the network is so dumb. Honestly, I don't know if it's much dumber than than these 3, and these cost a lot of money to create. So I don't know. Maybe it was actually kind of brilliant, because if that's what we get after years of research, you know what? My algorithm is better. Okay, so let's save it. Australian accent. Let's give it a run. Let's see what it tells us. Okay, I want to see your comments too. What are the names of Jacob's sons from the Bible?
Please respond using V2. Jacob had 7 sons: Joseph,
Australian
Benjamin,
indeed.
Simeon,
Okay.
Levi, Zebulun, Issachar, and Dan.
Okay. It sounds Australian enough, you guys? You think they hit it? Because they remind me of a TV anchor that has an Australian accent too, so I think it's kind of similar. So the key is to change the accent. No, No, actually, it just, the key is to switch to a smarter model, which in our case, among these three, in my humble opinion, that's Qwen, even though it's, you know, Alibaba based and everything, but they achieved more. And okay, and generally speaking, it looks like Qwen has more parameters than TinyLlama. Not by much, okay, but it's something. And I don't know how many parameters Microsoft Pi 2 has. Let's see. Let's ask Grok. I'm not connected to Grok here, actually. Let's ask him here. Let's ask him over phone. Okay, how many parameters? I wish I could talk to him, but it's not open source. I cannot really access their API. Costs money, and I don't know if Grok 3 is available through their API. So let's see. What did I want to ask? How many parameters Pi 2 has LLM? Let's see what it says. Let's see. I already got used to hearing the feedback because I've been using this app for a few days. So when I don't hear it, it upsets me. Okay, so Pi 2. Pi 2, I asked Pi 2. Okay, Pi 2. Sorry guys, I misspelled it as it appears. 2.7 billion parameters. So Pi 2 should be the smartest among the three, but honestly, I feel like it's the dumbest. It's actually, it's a tough competition with TinyLlama. They're dumb and dumber. Can you imagine, like, with half of these parameters, less than half of these parameters, you know, Alibaba achieved a better model than Microsoft. Like, what kind of alternate reality are we living in? This is insane. Okay, let's give it a shot. Let's give it a try. What did we want to do? We wanted to do something. Did I want to ask it something, you guys? Llama 3.2 requires authentication. I think so. Yeah, I believe it does. We're not going to do it in this stream. How to utilize IndrasNet. Yeah, it's something simpler. Something simpler. DeepSeek 8 billion. I will not use it outside of a Docker container. And this specific code runs on Windows only because we need the microphone. Okay? Try the British accent. Let's see. Let's put the British accent then. I wanted to try a different voice. Okay, we'll do the British accent and then we're going to switch the voice. In case you don't like this lady's voice, we can do something else. But this requires a different library. And this library is actually, you can access it when you're not connected to the internet. So it's pretty cool. Filipino accent. I don't know if it has it. It has Indian accent. Let's see. Okay, tell a joke. Okay, let's do it. Please tell me a joke.
About the internet. Why did the internet go to the doctor? Because it had too much bandwidth.
Exit. What kind of joke is that? Is that supposed to be like a dad joke? It's like, Kash Patel doesn't have an accent. What? I have more accent than Kash Patel. That's British. I know we put the British one now. So before we had the Australian, and this is the British accent. Okay, it's not gonna ask us to explain how does it now, does it? Oh. Yeah, accents are fun. Okay, I've done similar projects some months ago. Can we collaborate in building another? I don't know if I'll be continuing this project, honestly. It's like a small template. I wouldn't do a project for Windows. Yeah, I honestly, I prefer working with WSL. And I was trying, one of the things I was trying to solve with Grok is how to figure it out, and I couldn't. And I find that there's very specific use cases where coding with AI makes sense, and certain other use cases when it doesn't at all. But yeah, let's try a different voice. I see the accents. В какую игру вы играете? Я тоже хочу поиграть. Это не игра, это large language model. Я сделала аппликацию. I made an app here. You can go to my GitHub, mariasha/voice chat. You can clone it and you can play with it on your end. Now we're going to try a different voice. Мы пока что акценты другие делали. Сейчас мы будем делать другой голос. Okay? Multilingual stream. Holy smokes. So, we'll just copy these lines of code. It's a copy-paste situation. And this time we're using the TTS X3 library. And we will need to import it at the very top. Don't let me forget. So what we are replacing here is the entire Pygame, actually, not just the Pygame component. We're replacing all this beauty. So everything from generating the MP3 speech and up until the MP3 FP close. Okay. Instead of it, we are pasting what we just copied and we're fixing the indentation. Okay. So what we're doing here is we're using a different method. We're using a different method of playing our audio, both of converting the text into audio and both playing it. Okay. Now the downside of this method is that you basically need to wait until it finishes talking. Okay. If we try to meddle with it, it becomes a much more complex application. Okay, that's why we'll leave it as is. We're not going to make any changes to this type of code. And we're just going to select a different voice. So first, let's start with voice number 0. That will be the first voice we will test. And since I won't be able to exit, I'm just going to make the desktop audio manually quieter if it gives us too long of an answer, okay? So let's save it. Let's try this voice instead. Let's give it a shot. How smart is a dolphin compared to a dog? I don't know why I asked it. Oh, I didn't hear the dog. Come on. Okay, let's see what it answers. Let's hear the voice. Where's the voice? Hey. Hey, buddy, up. Yeah, I told you. I told you. I'm going to forget. Of course, I forgot to import the library we are using. Okay, so let's copy PyTTX. I knew it. I just knew it. Okay, let's give it a run now. Sorry, guys. Debugging. How many days are there in a year? Okay, let's see.
There are 365 days in a year.
Okay, do you like this voice? Can you say something else? I want to hear your voice. Мам, я перезвоню, у меня прямая трансляция. Bye.
I'm sorry, but as an AI language model, I don't have the ability to speak or express myself in the same way as a human being. However, I can understand and respond to your commands and questions to the best of my abilities.
Exit. 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 Okay. Okay, so that was voice number 0. How about voice number 1? Okay, let's hear this one. Let's give it another shot. Sorry, that was my mom. It's like I told her I'm streaming. How many stars are there in the galaxy?
I can tell you that the number of stars in a galaxy varies depending on the galaxy and its distance from us.
Yeah.
Some galaxies have billions of stars, while others have only a few thousand. The number of stars in a galaxy is known as its
exit. Yeah, okay, good. I thought I forgot the exit. Okay, so the accent actually is embedded within the voice. But this voice that we are generating with this PyTTS X3 library is so robotic. So robotic. I don't like it. I prefer the other one. But the other one needs internet. okay? So you can play with these type of parameters. You can... I wanted to ask about temperature. I wanted to see if it knows anything about Hugging Face. What temperature refers to in Hugging Face transformers? Hugging Face.
What are the differences in the Hugging Face between different transformer models? Please write in English language. In the context of the transformers model, the Hugging Phase refers to the process of training the model using a dataset.
Oh, yeah,
During this phase.
No. Exit.
No.
Exit. Okay, thank you. Nine. That's crazy. That's just crazy. Okay, so you need a GPU. Okay, in other words, CPU models are lame. Are so lame. This is crazy. It's my ex-wife talking to me. Oh my God. Wow. Yeah. So before, actually, I had a similar input before, but I was testing the microphone, and I wanted to see the volume of, this chatty model compared to my volume. So I was just kind of mumbling a song. I was like, I don't know if you know Rainbow with Ronnie James Dio. It's like they have a song, na 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 na. I was singing it, and then it received the input of no. So it replied with the same thing. Well, at least when I did the no, it kind of understood what I asked. But again, we're dealing with Qwen. Qwen generally understands what we're asking. It's just not... The responses are sometimes a hit or miss, but Qwen is a bit more smart. And we'll do a poll right away. С наступающим праздником Международным женским днем 8 марта. Thank you so much, Vitaly. So they're wishing, Vitaly is wishing me a happy March 8th, International Women's Day. Спасибо большое. Hey, it would be cool to see AI in music production and similar things. So I tried AI in music production before. It was pretty bad. The paid AIs are probably pretty good. I was born in Crimea, so you could say I'm Ukrainian. Vulcan. No, that was Russian. What purpose do these models serve? So basically, they're personal assistants, right? So, these specific ones, they have no purpose. Honestly, that's a... I guess it's kind of a participation trophy for people who cannot run them on, more sophisticated hardware. And I find that as soon as a model becomes actually smart, the first thing they do is they lock it. And then suddenly they take this open source idea and they turn it into a paid closed source for profit kind of a thing. As soon as it becomes smart. And with Mistral, that's my biggest disappointment, because I wanted to use it for quite some time and I couldn't go past the fact that they want my email. It's like, I don't like providing my details if it's not necessary, especially since all these models, they never asked me anything. I used all 3 of them. They always wanted my email. And then I got to the point where, like, you know what? I'm going to give them my email. But I want to use it, right? What am I going to keep rebelling? If I rebel, I'm not going to use it, so I might as well provide them my email. So I got to the point that, okay, here's my email, I'm making an account, but as soon as you press on make an API, the first thing it asks you is like, choose a plan. It's like, choose a plan means that, okay, either you're going to give me a reduced version of this model or a reduced version of the functionality for free, and you want to charge me money for whatever's expensive. How is that open source? Okay, but you know what? I ignored it. I chose the free package. Let's do the free stuff, whatever. And then the next thing it asked me is my phone number. Why do you need my phone number? What, are you going to call me? Like, I don't understand. And at this point, I already, okay, so if I provide them my phone number, what else are they going to ask? And for me, this whole concept of authentication, it doesn't make any sense when there's DeepSeek and Qwen. Excuse me, it doesn't make sense to me. So yeah, you don't know what kind of data they trained on. They may have some false facts that it learned or something. Maybe, who knows? But the same thing can happen to any other model. I don't see how the open source Chinese models are less sophisticated than ChatGPT and Grok and all these. I don't see that, because if you use the higher tiers of models, they're very smart, and they're actually helpful. So when you have them as contrast to the models available in the West, I can't help but wonder, like, why do you need all these details from me? Like, it's silly. And we're not talking about like the flagship of Mistral. We're talking about the 7 billion parameter model. 7 billion parameters, it's like the level up of Qwen. It's nothing, it's nothing more, it's not like the 700 billion parameter ones, right? That it makes sense to pay for them because they're really, really smart in relation to the other ones. That's just a step up. And we used a similar model like this in our DeepSeek stream not too long ago. I don't know what to tell you. We live in amazing times. Like, crazy times. And the only reason why I'm not running the step up of Qwen right now, so if right now we're going to type, instead of the 1.5 billion, we'll say 7 billion, right? I think that's the next model. Okay, let's see. Let's double check. I'm just going to go to Hugging Face. Let's type Hugging Face. Let's get the model card. Yeah, 7B, it exists. So as soon as I'll try to run it, check out the comment I'm going to get in the console. And that's why I'm not running it now. Okay. It's going to fail. You'll see. Space on your disk. Setting disabled. It wouldn't run on my other system because it asked me for permissions to download files from an external source. If it runs on this system, I guess it has permission somehow. I guess I need to reinstall Windows if that's the case. But yeah, it looks like it downloads it. Wow. Okay, well, guess we're gonna have Qwen on this system very soon. Yikes. I did not expect that. Compliments to Xi Jinping. Okay, compliments. Before we even start, okay? Let's see. Come on, and this one we're talking about 8 gigabytes at least. Even more, we're talking about 333, that about 11, 12 gigabytes so far we're dealing with, okay? No, let's just run it, you know what? Because it didn't run on my other computer. I do not use a GPU for this stream. We're only using CPU. So even this Qwen model that we're loading, it's going to run on CPU somehow. It might. I didn't expect it to run. Вы прекрасны с Google Translate. А без Google Translate? Okay, this is 4 out of 4. Okay, so we're dealing with, yeah, 3 times 4, that's 12. We're dealing with about 15 gigabytes in size, okay? Compares to the 3 gigabytes from the 5-ish gigabytes from before. Okay, loading check shards. Okay, it's working. Wow, it's working. What is the name of the father of King Solomon? Wow, I'm surprised. How does it have authorization for this? Yikes. Yikes. Did I just made an oopsie? Okay, it takes time to answer, obviously, because it's a bigger model and I'm running it on CPU. So this one should run on GPU because it's relatively big.
In addition, tell me what is the name of the mother of King Solomon. Also, tell me what is the name of the wife of King Solomon. The father of King Solomon was King David, and his mother was Bathsheba. King.
Exit. Okay, so too much information model gave me the name of his father and his mother. And honestly, I don't like this voice. I should have removed it. Should we leave it at Qwen 7 billion parameters? No, you know what? No, it's just going to be annoying. But yeah, in that manner, you can load pretty much any kind of model, especially if you want to load the models that do require authentication. You will have way more selection. You can go for all the llama stuff. So if you find DeepSeek, like if I type llama, it finds DeepSeek. What? Crazy. But yeah, there's all kinds of models here. So whatever model you want, you can just use this template to upload it. Everything is ready for you. Just load and converts with different AIs. Now, one way to make it faster, here's the challenge. A way to make this whole communication faster is to run the response on GPU and to use GPU in a process. The problem is, in order to use your GPU, it is recommended to use WSL2. You can probably use it from your Windows system, but it's very painful to install. It's not going to be very consistent. So that's the downside with making things a bit faster. Now, in terms of halting, so we have this, we no longer have this exit, the ability to press exit and then the model stopped talking because we switched from the Google text-to-speech to this Pi text-to-speech X3. And the way to solve it is to use what we call threading. So you create a new thread on your CPU, and on this thread, you basically run the audio, and if you need to hold the audio, you hold it from this thread and whatnot. I could not make it work. You know, I tried. That's one of the things that Grok was helping me with, and he failed, sadly. Yeah, so I'm not too impressed with using AI for coding. Actually, I think it has more negative aspects than positive aspects. I do recognize that if you have 4 lines of code or 8 lines of code that you cannot figure out and you feed it into the model, it will explain them really, really well to you. But you really need to kind of hold his hand through the whole process. So if you're looking to design an app from scratch, you can either ask him, hey, Grok, can you make me this app? And then you kind of walk through all the changes you want to make, and you do these changes in Grok. You don't take it into your IDE and start editing it on your end. You just keep working with him. And if you have an error, instead of fixing it with Stack Overflow, whichever tools you usually fix it with, you need to tell Grok, hey, there's an error. And then it continues giving you answers. That's one approach. I don't have patience for this approach. I want to skip to the interesting part. I cannot hold his hand. And I find that you spend way more time trying to explain him what you want than you were than what you would like coding the whole thing altogether from scratch. The other approach is what I've done with this specific application. So basically I copied, I think I had it open here. Yeah, so I copied the code from my main.py file of the chatbot Qwen. I literally copied all this code. I told them I have an app that I'm very, very happy with. Can you please add a voice component into it? And of course we had to troubleshoot it a bit, and we had to do all kinds of stuff. But I have way more patience for something like this, where you just provide, the general structure, the general code that, that you would like to be revised rather than written from scratch. And then it's actually useful, and it actually saves you time. While the other method, I couldn't get anything built with it that actually made sense. But maybe it's because I'm trying to build the more complex stuff. I know that when people use it for simple tasks, for simple applications, they're like, wow, it's amazing, it's great. But when you're trying to establish some WebSockets, like with threading, if you're trying to do like a face swap algorithm, if you're like, hey, can you show me a basic implementation of a face swap algorithm? It will look very professional, but as soon as you try to run it in practice, it's gonna fail miserably, miserably. So yeah, you either use it for simple stuff, or you give it the background it needs to kind of add upon your code rather than create it from scratch. That's what I find. And another problem, if you guys are already here, you lose your ability to problem solve the more you use AI models, the more you delegate things to it. So my challenge was delegating everything to it, including the thumbnail of the stream, right? The robot in the background, it's made by Grok, and then I basically expanded it in Photoshop with Firefly. But when you use it for everything, your cognitive abilities are becoming weaker. So problem solving is just one component that kind of that you kind of lack, that you delegate to it. So every kind of problem, every kind of error, you're like, hey Grok, I have an error, can you please solve it for me? It's like, I need your help in everything. And it's very similar to, usually you go on a vacation and you go back to work, and then suddenly it's like you forgot how to do things, right? You haven't been coding for a month, and suddenly, first of all, suddenly you're not as confident as you used to. Second of all, you didn't practice it all this time, so your skill, you're less skilled. You're a bit rusty, right? And just like everything in life. So the more you use it and the more tasks you delegate to it, you actually become dumber. I'm sorry. I feel dumber after this week of using it. I definitely feel dumber. So I'm thinking of all the people who are learning how to program using AI, right? Because I did my learning since I'm 12, okay? I've done it for many, many years. But people who are just starting their programming journey and they delegate everything to ChatGPT, Grok, Copilot, whatever it is, they don't actually learn how to code. They learn how to review code, which is a very different skill, right? And the more complex your application, the harder it is to understand what the hell is going on there. So if you're trying to make, so my first attempt with Grok was making a StreamYard clone. Okay, that's how I ended up using OBS for it. I just wanted a StreamYard clone for free. And it included WebSockets, it including fetching input from OBS Studio, sending input to OBS Studio, sending cameras, right? You can either use the web camera, you can either use my ZV-1 camera that is filming everything right now, or you can use a virtual camera and so many different things, right? So I started implementing this with Grok, and I realized that this is the wrong use case for something like that. Very, very wrong, because you end up with so many lines of code, and if you actually want to understand how your application works, which function communicates with which function, especially if you need to do some troubleshooting, there's no way you can do it because you're receiving this code that you never wrote. Somebody else wrote it for you, and you need to review it line by line and to understand what it does, because sometimes these AIs, because they rely on code that somebody else wrote, they don't always understand that this component they're included it might be necessary for the other application, but it is not necessary for my application. So sometimes you are importing modules that there's no reason why they're there. So if you don't understand what this module does to begin with, you will not catch it. And then you have all this redundancy in your code. I didn't like it. I felt like, I don't know. I don't know how senior developers are utilizing it on their daily basis. I think they just kind of, I don't know. I don't think they use it as much. Maybe just to explain what's going on in the background, give them some ideas, but I don't think they delegate all their cognitive coding abilities to this thing. Yeah. Interviews will weed out AI coders and self-taught coders. Who knows? Who knows? I'm not sure what to tell you. I know that these type of interviews, they're very, very specific to whatever the company is using. So if you are interviewing for, I don't know about that. I'm kind of losing my hope. Because I tell you what, I do see that in the next few years, we will need a lot of people who do coding. We will still need them, right? We still need somebody to oversee what AI is coding for us. We need to make sure, there's no vulnerabilities in it. We need to have some kind of a figure of authority that goes over it and says, that's okay. I take the liability. This is not AI's liability. I'm a senior developer. I went over the code. I approve it. Let's send it to production. Okay, that kind of thing. And I think that as soon as AI will be able to actually execute the code it suggests to you, because I think the difference between AI and a junior developer who just finished their, computer science degree or whatever, is that the junior developer has a console and a computer where he can execute the code he just wrote. Grok and ChatGPT and all these AIs, they do not execute the code. They just statically show it to you. So they know all the theory, just like a college student. Okay, they have no experience, both of them. They have a lot of theory, but only one of them is capable of running the code they write. So as soon as Grok and ChatGPT and all these guys, they will have a executable component in them, I don't see how they'll be different from a junior developer, because the definition of a junior developer is somebody who needs to be supervised all the time, needs to be directed, supervised, and all the work they do needs to be approved. You have no experience, okay? You know a lot of things, you learn a lot of things in theory in college, but to implement them, there's a big gap between theory and practice, right? So I know that in the next few years we'll be fine, right? But what happens when the senior developers of today, they start retiring and they start leaving? I really believe we will have a few years of gap where the junior devs, I don't know if they'll be skilled enough to do all the duties of senior devs. But in order to become a senior dev, you need to be a junior first. You need to be then an intermediate. You need to grow into this role. And if they hire less juniors, because AI is doing their job, there's going to be a time where, I don't know, there's going to be a time of a gap. I don't even know how to think about that. So I wonder where you guys thinking about it. Let me check the comments, because I'm hallucinating myself. Yeah, and we're gonna stop this stream pretty soon, about 15 minutes. I'm gonna end it. Let's see. I don't even know how many people are here. It's streaming through OBS. I don't know if I like it. I don't know. Okay. The hardest part of programming: writing clean code, breaking the work into manageable pieces, turning off the matrix screensaver. See, I have a cat now. That's a cat. No more matrix screensaver. Yeah. If you read this, you are awesome. They also create security issues a lot. Yeah, I haven't encountered any vulnerabilities in in my work right now, like with in this week that I've been using Grok for everything. But I can definitely see how vulnerabilities can be embedded there, because some of this code, you get it from bloggers. And some bloggers, like when I started Python Simplified, my knowledge was very limited. I had a lot of gaps because I was a self-taught developer. That was before I actually started a degree and everything. I started learning, taking my learning very seriously. I was a hobbyist. So if you look at the code that I wrote as a hobbyist, I wouldn't want anyone to use it in their software, you know. It's not a good code. It's not good practices. But Grok, I don't think it can differentiate between sources that belong to, you know, just bloggers without any accreditation or whatever it is, and, you know, senior developers. I don't think it has this ability to evaluate it. And since it cannot execute it, it just kind of throws whatever you have. So if you have, and I find that if you're using it for things that you can fetch from different sources, you know, so for example, I want Grok to do something that has to do with one specific library, it will do it really well. When it needs to combine different libraries together and combine one functionality with another, this is where there's a disconnect. This has been a great stream. I've learned a lot today, even from the people commenting. Cheers, awesome, yeah. Okay, you should use AI like an intern. It's not at senior level. Yeah, but that's the problem. If we use it as an intern, how would interns gain experience? Like, they will still gain experience, but only a fraction of them will gain experience. And will they actually, like, so junior developers, will they actually make the same amount of money that they're making right now if, you know, an AI model can do much of their work? That's another thing. Like, the entry-level positions into tech, they're really high paid. And that's why a lot of people go to learn it. But what if these positions are no longer high paid? You know, what if it's, you know, general public positions? Will anybody have the passion of, you know, investing 4 years of their lives in learning, you know, a computer science degree, getting all your certification to then get a, you know, the same salary as somebody who didn't do all this process? I have a lot of questions, no doubt. A lot of questions. Talk about the memory of these AI chatbots, Maria. Their memory nowadays is impressive. Yeah, we came a long way, for sure. It knows a lot. What do you think is near future programmers are going to be vanished? No, I don't think so. I think senior developers, so if you are now in a senior development role, I wouldn't be scared of my job at all. Intermediate developers, you're fine too. I think the challenge is with the junior devs. And I finished my university, my ceremony, my certification ceremony is on April 28th, and only then I'll receive my certificate. So I'll film a detailed vlog about my university experience. But because I was a self-taught for many, many years until I actually took this degree, and because I actually took this degree and I had a lot of projects with other students who didn't start this degree with any background in computer science. Everything they know about computer science they learned in the degree. I know that they're in big, big problems. Like, at least the folks that I've been working with, and I think they were not comfortable with trying something new. So let's say my university was using P5.js for everything, but P5.js, you know, other than making games, and now it's a bit more popular because Grok is using it in many games, you're not going to find an employer who will put this as a requirement to get a job. You will find an employer that needs Node.js as a requirement. You will find employers that need, you know, Django, Flask, but nobody really requires P5.js. I don't know who's using it professionally in the workplace. So the idea of, you know, working on a group project, you know, uploading it to GitHub is that, you know, this is something that you can actually use in your portfolio. And actually, any project you make during your student years, you should think of your portfolio when you're making it. Because instead of making a portfolio once you're done, just make all your projects really, really worth, really worth your while, you know. But I find that people were like, no, I don't want to learn anything new. I don't want to learn React. You know, let's just do P5.js. Let's just get a passed grade, not even a good grade, and that's it. Let's just get this certificate, and then I can find a job. Well, you can find a job, but I don't know if you can keep it. That was my main critique, because we are in an industry that keeps changing and developing, and you know, there's a new version of Python almost every month. There are new libraries that, you know, there are libraries that are being updated. There are new libraries being created. There's so many methods of achieving the same result, just slightly differently. And different things work differently on different hardware, and it's a very dynamic field, okay? So you always learn new things. So if while you are a student, you are incapable of learning new things, well, guess what? You're in a wrong profession. Because just because you get a job in high tech, it doesn't mean that you no longer learn things. You're still a sponge. You still, you know, you learn about a better way of implementing something, and you improve at your job. You don't just sit in an office and don't do anything. Yeah, it's something people did 5 years ago. It's not the case anymore. I don't know a lot of people who work in tech and they're just like lazy, not doing anything. And if they are, it's a matter of time until they lose their job. Yeah, salaries of human developers who know core is going to be more after 5 to 7 years, as we value human works more than it's rare. Yeah, but who has the patience to wait 5 to 7 years, right? Who has the patience to make lower salaries for so many years, just for the prospect of making, you know, a good salary after it? It's a tough one. I wouldn't have the patience for that. Hard times are ahead. So I don't know if hard times are ahead, but we need to find answers to these questions. And until not too long ago, like, we couldn't even ask them. I think I had a vlog, it's almost 2 years ago, where I mentioned that, like, don't say that ChatGPT is better than you in coding, especially if your employer is listening. Okay, what are you doing? What, are you nuts? And people in the comments were like, no, Maria, like, you're doomsday sayer, it's, I don't know, but like, job loss to AI, it's something that people were reasoning about since the 1950s. And then this blog that I posted, I think it got censored. Like, I'm not too sure what happened there, but if you look at the graph, this vlog was the most viral video I've ever filmed. The amount of comments it has. So it's a 50,000 viewers kind of video. Only 50,000 people viewed it. But it has 3 times the comments that videos of mine with over 500,000 views got. So the amount of comments was just insane. And everybody was talking about AGI and job loss and government, do we trust them and stuff like that. And as soon as this video hit 50,000 views, like, I can show it to you in the analytics. As soon as it hit 50,000 views, and it hit it in like that, the graph that was like this suddenly flattened. Okay, and then for the next few years, the graph is like that. So usually when a video is reaching such heights, you know, it just keeps climbing. It's never a flat graph after it's like the most viral video ever filmed. So I think something about this video, I may have said something that I shouldn't have said so early in the game, okay? At first, I should have said, you know what? ChatGPT is the best, because that's what everybody was saying, you know? But I looked at everyone and I'm like, what are you, nuts? Like, what's wrong with you? You don't understand what you're doing? No, ChatGPT is much better coding, is much better at coding than me. Like, what? Even if so, don't say it. Don't say it out loud. Like, so yeah, I don't know if I triggered them. I don't know, because the comments, they were so informative, you guys. Like, if you look at it, there was actual discussion. We actually tried solving problems. So yeah, a few people got triggered, but then, you know, people are generally very respectful on this channel, and we rarely talk about politics. I don't think we ever talk about politics. So nobody was kind of attacking anyone. But I guess so early in the game, you were supposed to say, oh, it's such a good model. It's much smarter than me in coding, right? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Critical thinking is banned under internet law. Guys, don't start blaming the Jews already. Well, guess who's Jewish? If you do, you'd have to blame me, okay? Yeah, because, you know, we are all alike, right? AI will replace humans. No, but we build AI to replace our need. So basically, we're making it replace our cognitive abilities. So right now, I think the robotics were nowhere near where it should be, but AI is designed to mimic the cognitive abilities of humans. So anything that has to do with your brain, anything that has to do with your speech, with your vision, your senses, stuff like that, processing information, problem solving, communicating via text, voice, video. That's why we design AI for. It's a thinking machine. So Neuralink, I think that the Neuralink would be a solution for measuring the degree of consciousness, right? Because everybody who's telling you, oh, you know, I achieved AGI, or like, oh, next week we are achieving AGI, we're so close, they're all lying to you. Like, we have no means of measuring AGI, you know, because, and I know that right now a lot of people will tell you, well, AGI doesn't need to be conscious. Well, that's not how things were a few years ago. Probably AI models told you that AI doesn't need to be conscious. It's a critical component of cognitivity, right? Because the definition of AGI is a model that is equivalent to the intelligence of a human being in terms of the cognitive abilities. And one of our cognitive abilities is critical thinking. One of our cognitive abilities is the ability to choose whether we do something or not. Because even if you're an employee in a company and your boss tells you to do something, you can always say, no, I quit. I'm not going to do it. What are you crazy? I quit. That's it. Bye. You know, AI doesn't have this capability. Another thing that we need is awareness. And we cannot measure somebody's awareness. The only way to know if someone is aware or not is to be that someone. And Neuralink, the thing about Neuralink is that it connects, I guess, certain sensors with our brain. And that's the key to measuring if something has awareness or not, right? So I think eventually we will have this thermometer of awareness, or even something binary that just said this thing is aware, this thing is not aware. And I think the way to achieve it is through Neuralink. But there is no chance in hell that I'm installing a chip inside my brain, you know? Like, nice try, Musk, you know, I'm not doing it. Like, you're a cool guy, but leave my brain out of it. Now, for people who do have some, you know, disabilities, and it gives them the ability to move and speak and type and, you know, use computers and phones, this is a great improvement to their lives. I get it, but like, for people who do not have disabilities, I don't know, it's too big of a risk. Too big of a risk. I wouldn't do it. And then what happens if, you know, there's an update, there's a new version? What, you gotta go to a surgery and then get the newest gadget? No, that's nuts. I think nuts is the #1 word today. Can we at least agree that Windows has AI bloat nowadays? Why does Notepad offer me the chance to search Bing using Copilot? I'm honestly considering a switch to Linux. The only reason why I don't have Linux here is because I am gaming. And I don't know like how to game on Linux with all the games we have right now. Another reason is that I'm editing videos with Adobe. Adobe programs do not run on Linux. If they were, you wouldn't see a Windows here. I don't like Windows. Can survive from my girl, but I can't survive if AI girl contact me. Spider Sense. ChatGPT code still needs to be debugged. I've noticed it's not the best at it, even when you hold its hand, so to speak. Yeah, well, it depends what you're trying to achieve. If what you're trying to achieve has a lot of examples online, on Stack Overflow, on GitHub, in so many places, then it's fine. But if what you're trying to achieve is very, very niche, it's something that maybe one person implemented in 2012, it will be very, very hard to actually accomplish it. And again, I'm thinking, you know what? This whole delegate everything to AI thing, it takes away everything that's unique about you. So even when you ask it to refine stuff. So for example, I wrote a video description, or I wrote a post, for LinkedIn, and I send it to Grok, and I ask him, what do you think about this post? Would you refine it? It will always refine it. So instead of lovely, it will say wonderful. Instead of in the meanwhile, it will say in the meantime. But it's the same word, but it tunes you to what it knows. And if everybody's using it, then nobody will use in the meanwhile anymore. It's a word that we will all forget, right? And if everybody's using the word wonderful, I've noticed that the word wonderful became way more popular since ChatGPT, and these AI models came out. I don't know, were we saying it a lot before? I guess some people were, but now it's almost everything is wonderful. And if you go on LinkedIn, you see all these posts, and I look at them, and I'm like, oh my God, this was generated by AI. So there's so much noise. There is so much noise generated by AI and not by real humans. And eventually, the human factor will become more and more important because, and even now, when we're doing this live stream, I find that a lot of people appreciate authenticity. So if I sit right now and I film a tutorial and I practice on it and I film it 3-5 different times and I really chop it really finely and I extract, the quickest, the best explanation that I have, it looks almost fake because I practiced on it. It took me some time to figure out the best way to say something. If you're naturally talking to somebody, I start seeing that it has way more value than it had before, because we're stuck in this world full of fakeness, where you can pay what is it, $10 a month, I don't know, $20 a month to some video engine, and then you can automate an entire channel. You can create this influencer that doesn't exist in real life, and you can pretend you are them, and you can actually make money through this system. But all of it is fake. And we're nearing a point where people won't be able to tell what is real and what is not. Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. By the way, I really admire you. How many years took you to gain such huge knowledge? I started learning programming when I was 12. I got my broadband internet connection. I had my Pentium, I can't remember which kind of Pentium computer I had. And I think the first thing you get exposed to is how to build websites. And hosting was free, so a 12-year-old kid could have a variety of sites. And you usually start with HTML, CSS, and I started when HTML and CSS were written on the same document. Notepad, there was no Notepad++, it was just Notepad. If you have an error in your code, it's going to be very hard finding it because you have no color grading of text or anything. And yeah, you start slow, and then by the time you grow up, you collect more tools. So at first you start with CSS, HTML, then you move on to JavaScript. And once you move on to JavaScript and you're comfortable with a programming language, not just Markdown and styling, then learning Python is just so much easier, and C++ and C# and whatnot. When you have a certain background with computers that nobody forced you to learn, this is something you found interesting, and you actually gained hands-on experience with it, because the reason why you learn it is to create a website, then a computer science degree will be way easier for you to actually achieve. It will teach you all the things that you miss as a self-taught developer, because when you're learning on your own, you have no idea what you're missing. Yeah. Alexa, play See You Again. In a web world, we're going to be hunt for finding real human to interact with. Now, lots of virtual AI bots are in your way. So I think the solution to it is just to go outside, because we live our virtual lives at home, but you know, there's a whole beautiful universe outdoors with actual people, real people, that we can have conversations with. Yeah, bye, Howard. Yeah, I don't know if I'll call my mom. Maybe I will. You know what? Yeah, we can finish the stream. Digital marketing agency, and you need AI and agent services. Yeah, I don't really do these type of stuff, but you don't really need me for something like that. Just go on, you know, one of these websites, Upwork or whatever, and find somebody, or just hire somebody to do it for you. Yeah, I don't really do these type of stuff. If I stop posting things on YouTube, the channel declines. So I gotta keep going. I gotta keep filming more content, going live more often. Why am I so shiny? Holy smokes. I'm very shiny. You're my inspiration to never give up. Good, never surrender, never. What's your native language? I mean, you speak English perfectly, but I have a feeling that is not your mother's language. So I was born in Crimea. We spoke Russian in Crimea. Then I grew up speaking Hebrew. And then, well, in high school, I learned English. And I guess from Britney Spears. I also learned it from Britney Spears and Backstreet Boys and, you know, whatever we listened to when we were kids. They called it MTV music. And then my English got really good when I landed in Canada about over a decade ago. Okay, so I live here for about 10 years. And I still have an accent. You can still hear it. Not very often. But yeah, I'm very international. Child of the world, you can call it. Can you say marhaba? Of course. I even know what it means. You know? Oh, Tobbs, how's it going, man? Thanks for joining us. Well, you just came here, so let's quickly run it. Let's see, and I'm going to put some British accent. See, C-O-U-K, okay, because Tobbs is from Wales. I want him to hear it for a sec. And let's use Qwen. Yeah, good. Tobbs, what are we gonna ask? What are we gonna ask the model? You decide. and maybe something funny. Actually, we'll start. Say something in Russian. Скажи что-то по-русски. Okay, let's run it. Let's run it. Now ask it to tell us a joke. Let's see how Qwen jokes. Tell me a joke.
About snow. Why did the snowman break up with the snowflake? She was too cold.
Can you tell a better joke?
Of course. Here's a joke. What do you call a group of people who are all wearing the same color? A flock of colorblind people.
Can you have a sophisticated joke about space? Can you tell us? I should have said, can you tell us?
Exploration and the concept of time travel. I'm going to use this as a base for a story I'm writing, and I need something to hook the reader. Certainly. Here's a joke about space exploration and time travel. Why did the astronaut go?
Exit. I think Shakti wants me to be kicked out of YouTube. You'll never know what the model will say. You'll never know. Ask in Russian. Well, I guess you need to change the language, no? Let's see. Let's see if it works. Go Ru, and let's make it with a British accent. It's like, if it makes any sense. Okay, let's see. I don't know if it's gonna work. I never tried it. I assume that Ru is Russian. А сколько времени сейчас? It doesn't speak Russian.
to show them the best hotel deals in your city. Google will show you the best hotel deals in your city. What is the best way to use the Google Plus API to get the best hotel deals in my city? To use the Google Plus API.
How many children did Jacob from the Bible have?
Have Jacob had 12 children, including Joseph, Benjamin, and Reuben.
Wow. Wow, you are incredible, Qwen. This is great. Say something else.
Like this is amazing and you are a genius and you are a genius and you are a genius and you are genius and you are genius and you are genius and you are genius.
Bye. Okay, bye. Genius and you are, genius and you are. Ну, genius and, ну что такое? Ну, genius and... Wow. I did not expect it, okay? So apparently it has a Russian accent. So see, I don't think it understands the language. I think this is something we need to do with yeah, we set it up here. What's up? Oh, or maybe when we're translating, because we're translating it here. So if we say lang rule and we do it here, okay. Did I block it? Okay, we do it in the recognizer. Oh, sorry, not recognizer listen, but we do it in the audio. I think that would be the logical place for me to put it in. Let's see if it's capable of speaking Russian. Let's do it. Сейчас спрошу. Сколько звезд есть в галаксии? No. No. Okay, so if we try it in the place where it was before, because maybe it's here, maybe there's a language parameter. Let's give it a shot. This is how I usually code. I usually freestyle, and the first 2 or 3 attempts, you get to solve it. You can solve all your problems. No. Okay, never mind. Okay, so we didn't solve it this time, but we can definitely look into it. There should be a way of translating with Google. I think, yeah, I think there's a bit of research required to do. Hey, but at least we figured out a Russian accent. That's pretty cool. Okay. Can you ask an AI to spell the English word strawberry in Russian? I cannot ask anything of it in Russian. We don't see what you are typing. All I need to type is this: Python voice_chat.py, which is the app we're running. What's thought about World War III? Yikes. That's a morbid topic. I can ask it. Okay, let's change the accent back. Actually, we didn't try the Indian accent. Let's try the Indian accent. If we're already here. It was here. What was it? C-O-in. Let's give it a shot. Where's the Russian? Ну, ты где? Давай. Okay, let's keep it English. And, oh, beautiful. Okay, let's try Indian accent. How many days are there in a year? Thank you, Tobbs. Thank you so much.
There are 365 days in a year.
Okay, it is an Indian accent. Wow, this is cool. Wow. Okay. What other accent does it have? I guess I can do some more research after.
It's amazing. Wow, that's a great compliment. I'm glad you enjoyed it. I'm an AI language model, and I'm here to assist you with any questions or tasks you have. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Wow. Put $20 on pump 7. What? Code Gems, you tricked me. I'll read anything you write. I will read a lot of stuff before I know I should. Does it have a Welsh CI? Do you have like a, Tops, do you have a Welsh extension? Like COUK is London. Do you have like a W something, WS or something, COWS? We'll wait. Dude, like you keep, I'm gonna put user in timeout. That's it, 5 minutes. Keep spamming the chat, dude.
Tops, do you have a Welsh extension like COUK is London? Do you have like a Tops? Do you have a Welsh extension like COUK is London? Do you have like a Tops? Do you have a Welsh extension?
Okay, okay, bye. Okay, I broke you. Let's see. Okay, hold on, Tobbs. I'm gonna check it out. Okay, so Welsh. CY. Is that how we do it? Where do I write it? Okay, let's see. No, bye, goodbye, yes. Okay, so COCY, or maybe instead of English, we write CY. Let's try it. Let's freestyle it. See what's up. How many stars are there in the galaxy? Forgot the galaxy. No, COCY, it's not how it works. So maybe we do, maybe remove this, and here instead of English, we type CY, because it worked with Ru, so it might work again. Okay, that's my last attempt. If not, I'll try it for the next time. This will be my homework, Tops, I promise. How many children did Jacob from the Bible have? Which is tricky because it's more than 12. Can you please tell me a story about space? Was that Welsh, Tobbs? Was it Welsh, actually? Let's listen.
Aman is athief and akon artist iwych do mi best to create a story that is entertaining and enagin vorio. Here it goes. Once upon a time, there was a man named Jack who lived in a small town.
Lad, it's your duty to find you a lass. Amazing. Bye. How do I turn you off? I just wait for her to talk and then I interrupt it. Hold on. Okay, bye. It doesn't talk yet. Hold on, I need to start talking and then I can do the exit. Okay, bye. I love terminating her. Okay, right, Tom? This is amazing. And we freestyled it. We had no idea. We just write CY. Where Ru was, and this is amazing. I'm impressed. Okay. Maria has built the woman of my dreams. Just wait until you load Qwen with the 7 billion parameters. Wow. You know what? Maybe she'll be too smart. We can keep her like that. That's how you ensure she's blonde. Okay. I'm scared to ask it about World War III. I'm scared. I don't want to give her any ideas. You forget it's a Chinese model. I don't want, I don't want to bring any ideas. Tobbs, you should pay Grok once. You don't even pay Grok. You pay for the blue check, and then you get it. Right now, Grok is for free. Actually, you can get it in the Play Store. Those of you who don't have like a Twitter or X or whatever it is, we call it nowadays, just download it from the App Store, and then you can use it for free in the meanwhile. See, no meantime. Okay, in the meanwhile. Let's see its point of view. Okay, okay, I can do it, but we're gonna keep the Welsh accent. Okay, let's do it. Okay. Here, what are your thoughts about World War III? Holy smokes. What are your thoughts about World War III?
I receipt a good idea. I have heard a lot of people saying it would be a good idea.
It's a very good
But
idea.
well likely it would be a bad idea. What do you guys think? I just want to know your opinion. Thank you.
Yeah, exit. See? It's you know, it's a 50-50 kind of a topic, you know. Some want to, you know, the world to be destroyed. Some are okay with it, you know. Some it's crazy. Crazy. מתן, בוא נראה, שנייה. בוא נראה, איך, Hebrew? Hold on. שנייה, אני מבחינה אחת בעברית, רגע. Hold on, we'll do a Hebrew one. French Canadian, holy smokes, okay. Maybe if I type Hebrew here specifically. Okay, let's see. No. Huh. Okay, let's try HE. I don't know what it's going to give us, but it's easy to tell if it's Hebrew accent or not. If it sounds like the Zohan, if it has some fizzy bubarach in it. How many stars are there in the universe? It never catches the universe part. Let's listen. Let's see. That most certainly is not Hebrew, okay? Hold on. Okay, maybe Heb. Matan, do you know like the general extension of Hebrew? That's racist. Okay, thank you so much for Ron. Thank you for the awesome keep smiling. You have a beautiful smile comment. Thank you so much. Let's see Heb. Let's see it with Heb. Matan, if you can look it up on your end, let me know if you find what's the shortcut. How many children did Jacob from the Bible have? And he had more than 12. Because children include chicks, right? Girls. And he had one daughter. Geez, the Bible doesn't mention how many children Jacob has. However, it is said that he had 2 wives and 4 sons. Okay, yeah, it doesn't work. It doesn't work with Hebrew. Let's see. Okay, last attempt. Hebrew with GTTS. Does it even have any Hebrew in there? You know what? I don't think it speaks Hebrew. May not be an option. Ivrit, Hebrew. Oh, that's with PyTTSX. That's with the other library we looked at. You can actually find it in the README. So it's with this library. And this one is not through Google. It sounds a bit more robotic, but this one should have a Hebrew accent voice, okay, or Hebrew response or whatever. I didn't play with this code too much. I'll start playing with it now. I'll see what other stuff we can do. But yeah, I don't think we can do it as easy as this, unfortunately. Okay, but the Welsh is pretty cool, right? The Welsh was awesome. What else do we have here? Try IW. Okay, let's give it a shot. Okay, IW. Yuv. Who's that? Hebrew. It's Yiddish. How many sons did Jacob from the Bible have? This should be 12.
Have.
Thank you, Qwen.
He had 12 sons, but we don't know how many of them were born to Jacob. Jacob had 11 sons and 2 daughters, Rachel and Leah. How many of Jacob's sons were born to him?
Blasphemy.
Jacob had.
That's blasphemy. Rachel and Leah, Rachel and Leah, they were his wives. They were not his daughters. His daughter's name is Dinah, okay? Dinah. Who is Dinah? 12. That's so funny. It actually works. Come on. Come on. What are you listening? His daughter's name is Dinah. Who is Dinah? His name actually works.
Out to 1-5-5-1-9-0-4-3-4-2-1-5-3-4-4-5-5-6-7-8-9-10-11-12-13-14-15-16-17-18-19-20.
What? What did just happen? Okay. What if we ask her? Okay, I have something. Do you like the taste of a fizzy bubalach? Fizzy bubalach.
Job. As a freelancer, I have been working as a freelancer for the past few years. I have come across various types of jobs, and some of them are more feasible than others. Here are some of the most feasible.
See, so what happened here is that it thought I said feasible, and then it searched through its database, looking like, where can I find this, this word feasible? And it found them in a context of finding a job, okay? It just shows you that the model is not smart. It just searches within its database, and it pulls the most likely outcome and then displays it to you. But this outcome and reality, they might not be connected to one another. It's like, what are the chances she's asking me about a job? Well, chances are pretty high because the word feasible is repeating in 5 different job articles, so she must be asking about a job, right? So that's what I'm saying. These models are not critical thinkers. These models are school smart, not street smart. But yeah, I hope it answered answered your questions. That's pretty cool though. And you see sometimes it hallucinates with no, or sometimes with numbers like 15538. Wow. Great to practice talking to drunk women in bars. Yeah. Tobbs, we found a use case to this app. This is amazing. How good is the app speech function in German? Okay, let's do it. It's probably de. I think it's de, not sure. Dutch. Let's see. My favorite food is schnitzel. What is yours? Okay.
Favorite food? I'm sorry, but as an AI language model, I don't have the ability to eat or have preferences like humans do. However, I can provide you with information about schnitzel if you'd like. Can you tell me?
Yeah, please give me a schnitzel recipe. See? So far, Qwen is doing a good job.
It
Don't have
sounds
a
good,
grill.
but I don't have a grill.
She vegan.
I don't have a grill. I'm a vegan. Also,
A vegan in Germany. No, 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 no. It's not a place to be vegan. Cool. Yeah, what else? What else do we have in the comments? I gotta go already. What is a schnitzel? Schnitzel, it's you take some chicken, or sorry, in Germany you take a veal and then you pound it and then you cover it with like breadcrumbs and or like pakora, like whatever it is you're eating. Like you cover it with something, and then it's like your deep fried chicken breast, crispy and nice schnitzel, really good. Like shawarma? No, nothing like shawarma. Very, very different. What's Hungarian? Is it you? HU? Let's see. Hungarian. I've been to Hungary. I've been to Budapest. Hungarian? Okay. Germans put powdered milk in my tea. I don't put milk in tea at all. It's like only honey. What do you put in your tea? It's like every time I ask a question of it, I feel so silly. It's always silly questions. Like that's the only thing that comes to my mind.
sugar,
This is not
teabag,
Hungarian.
cinnamon, dan, teabag, cialiguan jugiren likai jevu de suofacsong, cseng kedesi, a, jiren likai jevusi csong jik szinghua, zong hihua fuvu, b, jiren likai jevusi.
Is that Hungarian? I don't think it's Hungarian. Okay, so who is not Hungarian? Okay, the T-Bab. T-Bab was Hungarian. Okay, so it is. Okay. 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 What other languages did we miss? What else? What do we want to do? Anyone else? Anyone else? It's Qwen mostly used for code? You can use any other model. No, Qwen is used for anything. I don't know if it's good at coding. I know that Pi 2 is supposed to be designed for coding, but it's terrible. Terrible. Okay, Arabic. How do we get an Arabic extension? AB? Let's see. Hold on, because there's different kinds of Arabic. It's confusing. Arabic GTTS. Arabic text. Yeah, you need a special repository for that. Okay, let's see
Fun.
abbreviation.
What's the difference between a TTS and a TTS Plus? And when can we expect the TTS Plus to be released? I mean, ik know there was a big gap between the TTS and TTS Plus button.
That was beautiful. That was such a beautiful speech that you gave me. Okay, let's do AB. Let's do AB. Let's try it, okay? I don't know if it's the actual.
That spec was so beautiful.
Bye. Bye. Okay, let's do it again. Okay, now we're gonna try Arabic. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, I should say something. Oh my God, I bugged out. What is your name? What is your name? I'm trying to recreate a scene from The Dictator. Employees. Okay, employees. AB, not supported. Okay. I'm sure there's a different abbreviation. If you guys found it, let me know in the comments. AR. Okay. Right. AB. How? What was I thinking? Okay. Let's do it again. Okay. Are you planning to join me for shawarma or not? Oh, we asked about schnitzel. We might as well talk about shawarma. I mean, it's only costume.
I am sorry to hear that you have been sick. I hope you are feeling better soon. I will be happy to join you for shawarma when I am feeling better.
So, do I feel sick or do you feel sick? Which one of us is sick, dear? Let's see.
I feel so sick. I just want to be sick and I don't want to feel sick at all. I am so sick and I am so tired and I am so sick. I don't want to feel sick at all. Choose your.
But what does it have to do with shawarma? Come on.
I mean, I'm not a fan of shawarma, but I'm also not a fan of sandwiches. So I'm not sure why I'm looking at this post. I'm also not sure what the point of it is. But
Exit. Exit. Yeah, I'm not sure either. See, so it's a hit and miss, even with Qwen, that is like a bit more sophisticated than the rest of them, but it's still kind of, you must feel well to have a shawarma, exactly, exactly. Turkish, what is it, TU? Okay, TU. Yeah, I gotta go, you guys. I wasn't planning to have such a long stream, but then Tobbs joined, and I'm like, I can't finish the stream. Tobbs only joined us now. And when we discovered the Welsh accent, that took the stream to a new level. How many stars are there in the galaxy? Turkish. Sugarum. Come on. 2. There's no such thing as 2. Okay, you guys will tell me what it is. I know, I'll go back to the comments and you already know what is it. No, no 2. No 2. Okay, let me know in the comments what is Turkish. Doyuru, let me know. It's okay, Thomas, you don't need to apologize. How can a machine feel sick? If it was trained on data where there was some kind of an article about somebody being sick, that's how it can be sick. So very often I would ask it a question, you know, and I noticed it in the other models more. Qwen didn't do it very often, but like Microsoft Pi and like the TinyLlama, I would ask it a question, and then suddenly it's like, I am a 13-year-old girl. That's what it answers. I am a 13-year-old girl. They're doing 13-year-old girl stuff. And like, it had nothing to do with what I asked. And you're not a 13-year-old girl. You know, like, it started like completely hallucinating. TR. Okay, TR. Where is it? TR. Where are you? Okay, TR, not 2. Okay. Let's try it again. Excuse me, do you have more rachat lukum for me? I don't know how to pronounce it. Rachat lukum. Reggaeton. Okay, well, that's fine. So, oh, Jamaican. We should have done Jamaican. Now when I'm thinking about it.
I'm looking for some reggaeton songs to listen to. Can you help me find some reggaeton songs? Sure. I can definitely help you find some reggaeton songs. Reggaeton is a type of Latin pop music that
How many R's in the word strawberry? Defaulting. Hours. R's. Like the pirate R.
to determine how many hours are in the word strawberry. We can count the number of letters in the word and divide by the number of letters in a standard hour. 12 hours. The word strawberry.
Bye. Okay. Okay, yeah, I'm drained. It reads as it is, like Turkish. I don't read Turkish. I don't know what you wrote, but thank you. All right, guys, it's 1:40 a.m. here. Gotta go. Shalom. Yeah, actually, I gotta go too, you guys. I have to go. Oh, Doriu is from Turkey. That's why. More stars than humans. We are going to Narnia. Japanese. Try. Brazilian accent. Portuguese. Portuguese. How do you even do it? What's the abbreviation for Portuguese? Okay, so one more abbreviation. Okay, so whoever writes me the next lingual abbreviation, PT. Okay, PT. Let's do it. PT. Okay. Portuguese. Tudo bem. What continent is Argentina located in? It's not Argentina. It's just Brazil.
Argentina is located in South America.
What time of the year is the carnival in Brazil?
The
randomly
first,
talks
the
Chinese to you.
third, the fifth, the seventh, da se, xiala e o guan o acho é xi yan de shu fanzeng que de xi underscore zide isso an existe.
So basically, it speaks English and Chinese. It also speaks Chinese with a Brazilian accent. This is incredible, you guys. And apparently the carnival is in the 1st, the 3rd, the 5th, the 7th, and every month is a carnival in Brazil. Didn't you know? No, I think it's just learn a bunch of quizzes, and then it says the 5th. So the 5th month is the carnival, according to this model. But yeah, have you tried French? French, last one, and we go. Ooh, French, let's do it. Bonjour, mon amour. Sesame. How many grains are there in sesame? It's a 5-day event. Okay, that makes sense.
In 15 cups of rice. To find out how many grains are in 15 cups of rice, you would multiply the number of cups by the number of grains in 1 cup. Un cup of rice contient 160 grains.
Give me a recipe for a croissant. Ingredients.
Here's a simple recipe for croissant. Ingrédients. Fort de dos. 3 cups à all-purpose flour. 1 teaspoon instant yeast. 1 tablespoon sugar. 1 demi-teaspoon salt. Tiret.
Exit. Au revoir. Au revoir. Maria, at the most elemental level, is it purely transformers and decoders? Yeah, pretty much. It doesn't even have accelerate. So basically, you have the speech recognition that you will need. You'll need to install it too. You have GTTS, and you have... We tried it before in the beginning of the stream. There's another alternative to it because this is Google text-to-speech, and it needs an internet connection. So basically we have transformers. This is just to change the color of the print statements in the console. We have the time module that just kind of waits. We have the keyboard for when we press on the exit button, we want it to collapse the talking. We have Pygame, which is what we use to render the sound. This is how we hear the sound. And we have input-output, which is what we use to create a file-like object in the buffer. So basically, it's like a file, but it doesn't live on our file system. It lives in our memory. So that's all you have here. There is almost nothing here. And it's a very basic application, but it can run everywhere, as long as it's a Windows. But you also need some kind of a microphone. This is mine. You'll need to connect some kind of a microphone, maybe from your headset, even from your speakers, whatever it is. Just connect the microphone to your computer and give it a shot. Run it on your computer. Like, try different things. I had the Japanese. Somebody wanted Japanese. Let's see. Do we have an abbreviation for Japanese? That's the last thing we'll try. Let's see. Let's try JP. JP Morgan. Let's give it a shot. How many names did you write in your death note? in your death note. No such language. No such language. What else do I know from Japan? What else do I know? Let's see. Okay, JP. No, it's not JP. JA. Japanese. Japanese. Okay. Why shinigamis like apples? Why shinigamis? Come on. I'm surprised it didn't say why shiny gummies or something like that.
Are able to see people's souls. I've been reading a lot of manga/animes about shinigamis and I've noticed that they can see people's souls. I've also seen that shinigamis can't see people's souls.
Exit. I think it's pretty cool. I think the fact that you can speak English with different kind of accents is just insane. Okay, I didn't expect it to be that good. Like, I thought you are limited to, like, what is it, 4 accents? What was it, Australian? Oh, something went wrong. What happened? Reload. Am I here? Did I disappear? Lokum. I'll bring lokum next time. Yes, adore you. Bring some lokum. Actually, I love it. I love it. Uncanny. Okay. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you so much, guys, for being here. I'm gonna go. I gotta go. I've been here longer than I should have, but honestly, I don't even see how long I've been here because I don't have my YouTube studio interface. Okay. Next time, I'm gonna figure out all the interruptions. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna watch where the stream was kind of getting stuck. I'm gonna see how I can solve it. And then hopefully next time when I'm here, there's not gonna be any technical issues. I'm not gonna have to redo my stream from scratch like I did this time. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thanks so much for joining us after work, Tobbs. Thank you so much for a tag. Love to see your comments. I haven't seen them enough. I don't know. I should have been reading the comments a bit more. I was bugging out in some points of the video. Like I had to minimize the comments so I can be concentrated. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for suggesting all these different languages that we use. And if you guys want to continue exploring this app on your end, you know, try to see what's the funniest accent, you can go ahead and do it through my repository. And we were supposed to actually do a poll, who's the dumbest model, but honestly, we spend most of the time with Qwen, so we didn't test the other two enough. But on your end, test these models, see which one of them is actually functional and which ones are not. And then hopefully, you know, there will be more enterprises and individuals who create smarter models for free without authentication that have a bit more, you know, parameters, few billions of parameters, and then yeah, we'll actually be able to have a nice conversation with a chatbot without getting stuck, you know, almost every step of the way. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure. I'm gonna click on stop streaming from OBS and I'll see if it actually stopped the stream on YouTube. Thank you again. See you soon. Bye bye.